Olivia Newton-John is a kind young lady with a lovely voice. Her poignant ballad, "I Honestly Love You," made the entire world fall in love. Then, when she played a rebellious young woman with John Travolta in the movie Grease, she became a worldwide celebrity. However, there were a number of nearly unimaginable tragedies going on behind the scenes. In the midst of the ocean, Patrick McDermott, the man she loved the most, just vanished. No trace, no farewell. Olivia Newton-John found herself battling breast cancer for her life before the wound had a chance to heal. After all of this, what made Olivia stronger? And what secret shook the world so profoundly that Olivia kept until her last years? On September 26, 1948, Olivia Newton-John was born in Cambridge into a well-educated family that had a strong passion for the arts. Brinley Newton-John, her father, taught music in Britain. Irene Helene, her mother, was a gentlewoman who enjoyed music. Olivia's early exposure to the power of music was facilitated by this setting, which gave her a passion for the arts from an early age. Olivia Newton-John and her family relocated to Melbourne when she was 5 years old. There, Olivia was raised in tranquil circumstances, participated in school productions on a regular basis, and was always thrilled to take the stage. Olivia had never dreamed of becoming a global celebrity, but every time she sang, she experienced a unique type of delight. She frequently participated in singing competitions for teens throughout Australia, and her organic, deeply felt performances won over crowds. Olivia's confidence and drive to pursue a professional career in music were bolstered by those initial minor successes, then reached a significant turning point in 1964. Olivia Newton-John emerged victorious in an Australian music talent competition. Because of her popularity, she was able to visit the United Kingdom, which at the time was regarded as one of the world's largest entertainment hubs. Olivia's opportunity to formally enter the global music industry was made possible by this momentous occasion. Olivia started her career as a professional vocalist after relocating to England. Her early years were really difficult because she had to compete with other well-known musicians. However, audiences and music industry experts began to take notice of Olivia because of her gentle, expressive voice and her feminine, approachable manner. In her early years in England, she looked for chances to develop by participating in live music performances and a number of television shows. She gradually gained recognition in the public eye thanks to her perseverance. When Olivia published the song "If Not For You" in the early 1970s, it was a significant turning point in her career. She became more well-known in the US and the UK as a result of the song's rapid popularity. A significant new phase in her musical career was made possible by that success. Olivia proceeded to make her mark with well-known songs like "Let Me Be There" and "I Honestly Love You After If Not For You." Millions of listeners worldwide were moved by these songs, which were full of soft melodies and intense passion, along with her lovely and genuine voice. Olivia Newton-John began as a little Australian girl who just wanted to sing. Over time, she developed into one of the most well-known female musicians in the world. Olivia's career began its most dazzling period after her early hits in the 1970s. "Let Me Be There," "Have You Never Been Mellow," and "I Honestly Love You" are just a few of the popular songs she released during this time. Millions of people were moved by her passionate vocals and intensely emotional songs. Most notably, these songs helped her win Grammy Awards for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance and Record of the Year, in addition to topping the charts. Olivia Newton-John and MCA Records signed a 2-year recording contract in April 1975 for 4 albums, with the option to extend the deal if needed. Olivia was obligated by the contract to release 2 albums annually. Starting with Clearly Love, her first 3 albums were finished on time. However, Olivia was filming Grease for RSO Records, which caused her 4th album, Making a Good Thing Better, to be delayed. Olivia was unable to sign with another record label because of this delay, which prompted MCA Records to invoke its contract extension rights. Olivia and MCA Records formally filed a breach of contract lawsuit against one another on May 31, 1978. Olivia claimed that MCA had not adequately promoted her work and demanded $10 million in damages. In retaliation, MCA sought to bar from collaborating with any other music firm and requested $1 million in damages. Ultimately, Olivia was legally barred from entering into a new recording contract until she completed the terms of the initial contract. Many record labels altered their artist contracts in the wake of this litigation, moving away from time-based agreements and toward contracts based on the quantity of albums an artist was expected to produce. Olivia co-starred with John Travolta in the classic musical film Grease in 1978. This turned out to be the most significant turning point in her acting career and the production that made her well-known throughout the world. Olivia portrayed Sandy in Grease, a charming and naive young lady with a powerful and enduring personality. Her unquestionable chemistry with John Travolta and her effortless performance contributed to the film's nearly instantaneous international success. Grease made $366, $2 million at the worldwide box office, making it one of the most popular and successful movies of its time. In addition to being financially successful, went on to become one of Hollywood's most iconic musical productions. You're the One I Want, Hopelessly Devoted to You, and Summer Nights are just a few of the songs from the movie that became international blockbusters. Specifically, Hopelessly Committed to You was nominated for Best Original Song at the Academy Awards. Olivia Newton-John became a global entertainment star for many years as a result of the movie's success. Olivia's career reached an even higher peak with the publication of Physical in 1981, following the enormous success of Grease. The song swiftly rose to the top of the Billboard charts for several weeks in a row thanks to its daring, contemporary, and upbeat style. In addition to becoming Olivia's most well-known song, Physical became one of the key musical icons of the 1980s. The song's success changed Olivia's reputation from that of a soft-spoken singer to that of a more powerful, vibrant, and self-assured celebrity. Olivia Newton-John appeared to have accomplished everything a celebrity could hope for after years of topping music charts, packing major concert stages worldwide, and becoming a global icon through timeless melodies. Records have sold for millions. Her name continued to be associated with prestigious honors. Olivia Newton-John has been an iconic figure in popular culture for many years, from music to movies. However, Olivia Newton-John discreetly entered a completely new phase of her life just as her career was taking off. She gradually moved away from the glitzy pace of Hollywood behind the spotlight and the never-ending acclaim in search of a real home, a true love, and the kind of tranquility that celebrity could never offer. Olivia's life then embarked on its most traumatic trip, one that was written by love, loss, separation, and life-altering struggles that would permanently change her rather than by popular songs or the glow of the stage. Olivia fell in love with Ian Turpie, her co-star in the musical film Funny Things Happen Down Under, back in the mid-1960s when she was still a young woman making her first forays into the entertainment business. When Ian went to see Olivia's band play at a cafe in 1963, the two first crossed paths. It was a young, naive romance that ended in 1966 when Olivia went back to the UK to pursue her profession. Ian would always be regarded as the first guy to win Olivia's heart, even though distance ultimately tore them apart. As Olivia's music career took off in 1968, she was engaged to Bruce Welch, a producer who had a significant influence on her early artistic trajectory. Bruce was her creative partner as well, someone who assisted her in writing the initial songs that embodied her distinct musical style. However, Olivia made the decision to break up with in 1972. Bruce supposedly attempted suicide following their divorce because he was so heartbroken by her departure. Olivia seldom talked about it, and it turned into one of her most unpleasant memories. However, it made clear through the profound emotional impact she had on those who had loved her. Olivia met British businessman Lee Kramer in 1973 while on vacation on the French Riviera in France. What started off as a casual meeting quickly developed into a close bond. For many years, Kramer served as her manager, advisor, partner, and most important source of emotional support. For almost 10 years, they lived together, separated, then got back together. Olivia once said that the relationship was a long-lasting breakup. Reconciliation seemed unattainable at times, yet they felt intertwined at other moments. The relationship officially ended in 1979. Nevertheless, until his death in 2017, Lee continued to play a significant role in Olivia's childhood. When Olivia starred in the movie Xanadu in 1980 and met actor Matt Lattanzi, it was a significant turning point in her personal life music. On set, their love bloomed, and 4 years later, in December 1984, they were formally married. Olivia's first marriage was the one that genuinely gave her the impression that she had at last found a home. Chloe Rose Lattanzi, their sole daughter, was born in January 1986. Olivia Newton-John's priorities were all altered by Chloe's birth. She started cutting back on her film and music endeavors, making fewer appearances in Hollywood, and spending the majority of her time at home taking care of her family after becoming a global entertainment legend. Olivia discreetly left the largest entertainment hub in the world during this phase of her life to devote herself entirely to her roles as a wife and mother. However, after more than 10 years together, subtle disagreements started to emerge. Olivia and Matt Lattanzi announced their separation in 1995, and their divorce was formalized in 1996. For the benefit of their kid, they continued to be friends even after ended their marriage. Olivia met Patrick McDermott, a lighting specialist and cameraman, shortly after the divorce. For 9 years, their relationship was intermittent. After years of emotional trauma, Patrick gave Olivia a sense of calm. However, disaster struck in 2005 when Patrick vanished inexplicably while fishing off the coast of California. There was no farewell. There was merely a mystery disappearance and no ever found. Olivia was at her own wellness retreat, Gaia Retreat and Spa, in Australia at the time. For many years, she was plagued by the anguish of losing the guy she loved without knowing why. Rumors that Patrick had staged his own death persisted despite the investigation's eventual conclusion that he had most likely perished at sea, continuously dragging Olivia back into an agonizing media frenzy. Olivia was introduced to John Easterling by fate while attempting to move forward. Despite having met in 3, they didn't formally start dating until 2007, following personal heartbreak. John, also referred to as Amazon John, was a prosperous entrepreneur who spent a large portion of his life studying natural herbal medicine. In contrast to her past relationships, John helped Olivia find recovery. The couple legally wed in Florida just 9 days after holding a spiritual Inca wedding ceremony in Peru in 2008. This was regarded by many as the most serene and satisfying phase in Olivia's romantic life. But few people were aware that Olivia Newton-John